Hello, everybody. How we all doing today? So this is going to be my testimony. Just a kind of a quick summary of my life. I didn't have like the worst childhood. You know what I mean? Did not have the worst childhood. That's definitely true. But I did have some. I probably chose the wrong people to be friends with when I was growing up. But when you don't really have friends until you're in like sixth grade, the first people that you kind of make friends with, those are gonna kind of be your people for a little bit. But I struggled with mental health problems from the age of about I would say about like 15, 16, and then those couple of things went away, and then what's it called? After that, then that's when stuff started really getting bad. Right around the age of about 20 to 21, there was an underlying mental health condition that is a genetic thing. Beforehand, I had like depression and anxiety, things of that nature, but I kind of willed that out of my body. So then that was the end of that. But right around 20, about to be 21, that's when everything sort of changed. And I had known about God. I had known, some people believe in him. Me personally, though, I didn't believe in him. Not because it was like, oh, that's not possible. It just, never came along, during points of my life. And I mean, I researched so many things before I finally went to Christ. I was into New Age. I was into philosophy, psychology, tarot cards, meditation, everything. I was trying everything possible to figure everything out. A second, my fucking shirt's all messed up. But yeah, and that was a crazy point in my life too, because I was very mentally ill. And when you're mentally ill, extremely arrogant and like egotistical, and you always think you're right, you just think, instead of I'm mentally ill, you think, oh, you're discovering the truth, like with all this stuff looking into with like New Age and conspiracy theories galore, conspiracy theories galore. But anyways, I really started getting crazy when I was about 20, about to be 21. I've had like three full-blown like mental breakdowns. I was in and out of a hospital. I was in one hospital, out for like 9 days, right back into another one because the medicine wasn't right. So there's that. And then I was good for about a year, and then another thing came along. It was another mental health crisis, which when I look back at it now, it was more of like a spiritual attack, things of that nature. If you don't know what a spiritual attack is, basically demons will, if they can't mess with you physically, right? If they can't send somebody at you, if they can't get anybody into your life to mess with you that way, they'll just straight up attack your mind. They'll attack your emotions. They'll do whatever. They'll do whatever they can to ensure that you'll be having a bad time. And they certainly did, because with each mental break that I had, it was a different thing, each time. And anyways, so the in and out of the first mental hospital, all right, then was good for about a year, and then another mental health crisis happened. Lost my shit again, another spiritual attack, and then the most recent one happened again. But this time I had knowledge of God, so I was more, I wouldn't say I was more mentally stable, but I was aware more. I wasn't as out there as you could call it. So, but anyways, if I did not have God the last time that I was in the mental hospital, because right after, what was it? Boom, boom. And then because right after I got out of the third mental hospital, so the first mental break happens in and out of 2 mental hospitals. Second mental break happens out of that mental hospital. Then a couple months later, as I'm getting out of the third mental hospital, right? So the second break, that's when I came to God. That's when I found Jesus, and it was a very weird day. It was like maybe 5 a.m, and I'm usually, sleeping at that point, but for some reason I was up at 5 a.m. that day, and I came across 3 YouTube videos, and it was all people's experiences of, being out of there, having an out-of-body experience and actually going to hell. And I said, well, I don't like the idea of that. And then that kind of put the fear of God in me. And then a couple months after that, maybe like a little more than half a year, then I got spiritually attacked again. And then I went into another mental hospital. And then, then I got out of that one. And then it was kind of, had to like reassess some things and, had to figure some other things out. But overall, if I did not have God, then I don't know if I would have been able to get out of the very last mental hospital, And there's other things that's happened in my past that God has helped me with as well. I don't know if any of you guys know this, but any problem you have, God can make better. Like anything and everything, whether it's mental health, emotional, physical, financial, any troubles at all, God can help you, And I think the reason why, and this is just me kind of spitting whatever, but in this day and age, there is such an emphasis on instant gratification. You know what I mean? And I think that's why people sell their souls. You know what I mean? And by the way, that's pretty much my testimony, It's not really, I didn't really have too crazy of a life, Pick the wrong kids to grow up with and be friends with. Nonsense happened with that. Mental health problems. A lot of conspiracy theories, a lot of nonsense. A lot of bullshit that I looked into, wasting my time. And then mental health nonsense over and over again. And then, but it's okay, because now meds are good. Mental health is good. God helped me through a lot of things. He can help you too. God really can help you with anything. He can make you famous. He can make you rich. He can make you powerful in terms of, what you have here on this earth. He rules over it. I would say that due to Satan's kingdom, Satan definitely has a bit of a chokehold on this plane of existence, but God is still supreme, And if, we'll save that for another video. Bye, guys.